Hello, epic viewers from the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, captivating, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What item will I be unboxing? What item will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What item is encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify the answer to that inquiry right here, right now. So bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the item from the box and subsequently flaunt it in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. What item have I extracted? What item have I prompted? What item have I drawn forth? What item have I elicited? Let's find out. This figurine is apparently known by the moniker of Vivix. Is Vivix a paradigm of perfection? Is this action figure the epitome of resound perfection? Is this action figure the embodiment of perfection? Let's find out. That's subjective. That's for you to determine. You can assess this figurine's merits down to the nitty-gritty details to determine whether or not it warrants a hefty, exorbitant premium price of over $9. So, without further ado, without further delay, without further procrastination, let's dismantle the packaging. But before we do so, let's admire the aesthetics of the packaging. Here's the cardboard back, and here's the front. It's about to be decimated. It's about to be dismantled. But before I do so, I just wanted to apprise you that this figurine is part of the Power Rangers Dino Charge action figure line. Alrighty, I'm feeble, I'm dainty, and I lack physical prowess, so opening the packaging will be an arduous task for me to achieve. However, I will strive to earnestly open the packaging. I will not falter, I will not waver, I will not capitulate, I will not yield. I will do this seamlessly. Alrighty. Tiny rip the cardboard back for no reason. Now I can say that it's been shredded to an extent. Alrighty, here we have the villainous, sadistic, diabolical, cunning, conniving character. I do not know about his attributes, I do not know about his traits, nor his characteristics, nor his features. I just presume that he's evil, malicious, and diabolical, because he's a villain. However, I should not make these arbitrary assumptions. I don't know anything about this character's lore. Nonetheless, let's assess this figurine's merits. So, off the get-go, you can see that he has roughly 10 points of articulation, possibly 12, possibly even 8. I mean, I'd have to count to verify. He can swivel his wrists at your own discretion. That's always a benefit. He can articulate his elbows. They can ascend his forearm and descend his forearm at your own discretion. That's his elbow joint. So 4 points for articulation right there. He can move his arms outwards and inwards, and then he can move them up and down. Not bad. His arms are relegated to ball joints. It seems as though the legs are not relegated to ratchets. They can be moved outwards and inwards at your discretion. He cannot rotate his torso, nor his waist, nor can he perform an ab crunch. He's devoid of a diaphragm joint. He lacks ankle pivots. His knees and elbows are not double jointed. So there are failing tissues appertaining to this figurine. I'm disappointed that his head is encumbered. I'm disappointed that his head rotation is encumbered by his hair. His hair is an impediment towards allowing him to rotate his head 360 degrees. As demonstrated. I do love the fact that he's somewhat flexible. I detest the fact that he lacks peg holes in the bottom of his feet. Most action figures have peg holes embedded in the bottom of his feet. He's relatively short in stature. He's roughly 5 inches tall, probably probably slightly less than 5 inches tall. He lacks finger joint articulation. As I stated earlier, he lacks an ankle pivot. I love his spikes that are protruding out of his body. So it's nice that all of his appendages can be articulated, but it's unfortunate that we cannot rotate his waist, and it's unfortunate that we cannot fully rotate his head. It's also unfortunate that he lacks his diaphragm joint. It's unfortunate that he lacks finger joint articulation. It's unfortunate that he lacks toe articulation. It's unfortunate that he doesn't come bundled with any accessories, and it's unfortunate that he lacks toe articulation. Nonetheless, I love his aesthetics. I love his deco, I love his shadings, I love his hues, I love his textures, I love his features. I just would have preferred if he had more points of articulation. I would have preferred if he was 6 inches tall so that he could coincide eminently well with a 6-inch action figure collection, and I would have preferred if he came bundled with some accessories. But it is what it is. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Here's a plastic shell or plastic tray that's about to be consigned to the trash. So for under $10, you may want to consider foregoing purchasing this figurine. For under $5, I would recommend and advocate purchasing him. Considering that the Toy Biz Marvel Legends retailed for $8 plus tax, and they had 32 to 40 points of articulation, came bundled with a plethora of accessories, and came bundled with a comic book. This figurine can't hold a candle to them, and it's pitiful that he commands a heftier retail price, even though he offers significantly less intrinsic value to the owner or to the buyer. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you're an avid devout Power Rangers fan, perhaps you have a proclivity to purchase Power Rangers Dino Charge merchandise. However, if you are not well acclimated with the Power Rangers Dino Charge series and are just an action figure collector, perhaps you may want to abstain from buying this figurine until its price plunges on the second-hand market. Now, it may never plunge, but if it doesn't, I mean, you're not missing out on much. I mean, I do like his aesthetics. He's visually appealing to look at. He's aesthetically appealing to look at. He's eye candy, but he's not worse. $10 in my subjective humble opinion, but that's just me. Perhaps your thoughts and sentiments appertaining to this figurine are disparate from mine. Perhaps you believe that he warrants a hefty asking price, but he sold at a high markup, and it's just a real shame and a missed opportunity that he's only 5 inches tall and that he lacks even a modicum of accessories. So, I mean, it is what it is. I should reserve my complaints for another time. I should desist from complaining about the value that I received for my money. This was a voluntary transaction. I voluntarily chose to buy this figurine, and I do have qualms about my purchasing decision. So don't implement impetuous, impulsive purchasing decisions. Be prudent, think twice before you buy something. Just because the packaging is spiffy and visually appealing shouldn't give you impetus to buy the figurine, or shouldn't be an incentive to entice you to purchase the figurine. I mean, the packaging is going to be relegated to the trash. Furthermore, even if you retain the packaging, it's just going to take up precious square footage. So packaging is just not in scale with the figure, and it embellishes the figure. But that's what marketing is all about. You need to put your best foot forward whenever you promote something. So I wouldn't be surprised if 1-inch figurines were packaged in 12-inch boxes. I mean, that would be inefficient. Or cost. Let me just revamp that. That would be inefficient cost-wise, or that wouldn't be cost-effective, or that would be a misallocation of resources. But if it prompts purchasing decisions, then perhaps having large packaging is a worthwhile investment. ideally you want to cut costs as much as possible. On the other hand, if you're dependent on packaging to entice buyers to buy your items, and maybe you want to invest in more elegant, more refined, more visually appealing packagings to keep your products engulfed within. So, I mean, that's everything I wanted to apprise you of. I hope that you deemed this video to be intriguing and enthralling and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.